Hey guys, welcome back to Super Switch U. Was not expecting to do a second video today on Saturday, November 22nd, but I got reminded of something pretty late in the day, so it's going to be late putting it up. Um, but today is the 20th anniversary for the Xbox 360, which felt like, maybe we should talk about it. 20 is a pretty big deal when it comes to things like video game consoles and stuff like that. Uh, I don't really have to script it, so you're gonna just kind of have to deal with me being all over the place. But I feel like there's a few things we should cover. Uh, the original launch date, obviously, and the pricing, what that looks like compared to now, and what the launch lineup looked like. Maybe just kind of skim over some of the bigger hits and maybe some of the misses, and maybe some tidbits here and there. Finish it up with like a top 10, like my top 10. And yeah, just kind of reminisce about good old 2005. Yeah, I believe I was in middle school at that time. Um, I think might have still been in fifth grade. I'm not positive on my years there. Um, yeah, I do remember that we got one. Little iffy on the details about it. I believe either my brother bought it because he just started working at that point, or uh, parents bought it for us or something. I don't remember specifically. I just remember going and getting this thing, and it was not launch day. God, it was not launch day. Um, but I do remember. You guys remember the Red Ring of Death when that was happening? Like a lot of the original 360s when they came out, they would just flash a red ring around the power button, and it wouldn't power on. They were basically just dead right out of the box. Yeah, we had one of those, just right out of the box. So we ended up having to take it back and swap it. Got one that did work, but just basic console I think is all we got, and then a couple of games. Don't remember what one of them was. I do remember getting Lego Star Wars 2 for the Xbox 360. Uh, I was looking for stuff. I think at the time there really wasn't much at that point, family friendly wise. Um, yeah, I really wish I could remember what that other game was, but I don't. I also don't remember the date that we got ours. But from that point, though, we went a little crazy with achievement collecting, because that was absolutely a thing. And so me and my brother were buying and renting all of these different games, as stupid as they might have been. If they were easy 100% completion games or just realistic, you could get everything. We were we were getting games just for achievements, and so we played some of the dumbest stuff out there. And I'm sure if I pulled up my Xbox Live account, I could probably still find some of those achievements sitting in there. Um, I mean, dumb stuff. Um, but 360 did some weird things in its lifetime. Anyway, there was a partnership with Burger King. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I do because we ended up with all three of them one year for Christmas. Because Burger King sold them for like $1.99, full box with art, disc, and everything, and they were playable on both the Xbox and the Xbox 360. And I believe when we got those, we didn't have an Xbox 360. We were playing those on the original Xbox. Um, that was Pocket Bike Racer, um, Bumper Car, something. I don't remember the title on the Bumper Car one, and Sneak King, which is probably the most infamous one, where you played as the king and you snuck around and hid in things. You try to surprise people by handing them a Whopper. It's like surprise diabetes. So yeah, it was great. There was some real weird things that happened on the Xbox 360. And we got the Kinect on the Xbox. It was, I think, a decent chunk further in when we finally got the actual Kinect. Full body motion control stuff. It was really cool at the time. Um, had games like Dance Central, which I was really good at. Um, and there was a superhero game. There was some Disney stuff. There was Twisted Pixel did a game that was I really enjoyed it. I wish they would bring it to like Switch or something and just use motion controls or mouse controls or something to play it. But that was Gunstringer. You puppeteered this little skeleton cowboy type of puppet with one hand. And the other hand was the gun, so you shot and worked a puppet. It was unique for sure. And then in their style of game making, was funny. It had good voice acting and stuff like that. Um, Actually, most most of my favorite parts of the 360 itself was the Twisted Pixel games. Stuff like the Maw and Comic Jumper and Explosion Man was good. Um, because one, they had Chris Sabat in a lot of those voicing characters, and if you don't know who that is, he is a god of voice acting. um, but also voiced Vegeta, Piccolo, Yamcha, a lot of different people throughout Funimation and their dubbing of stuff. Zoro and One Piece included in that list. All Might, just just to throw out something more recent than Dragon Ball and One Piece. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of cool. And weird side note, I auditioned for one of the three shows that I just said. I'll let you guys guess that in the comments section, unless you've followed my channel, in which case you know. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my thoughts like collected and focused with 360 talk. Let me pull up the other stuff that I got here, because I pulled up some information to have like exact dates and numbers and stuff. So yeah, like I stated at the beginning, though, Xbox 360 launched in the U.S. on November 22nd, 2005, which was 20 years ago, with two models to start with. There was the core system for $299.99, which I think is the original Nintendo Switch launch price, and then the premium with a 20 gigabyte hard drive, which is like nothing anymore, for $399.99, $50 less than a Switch 2. So, to those people that are like, "Ooh, the Switch 2 is too high," did you buy an Xbox 360? It wasn't that high. But yeah, that's what it started with, and there was all different kinds of variations and special editions and stuff. And like when I got my 360, so not the one that we had that me and my brother shared and played at the beginning, but when I finally had a job and I was working and making my own money and bought me a 360, I got the Gears of War version. It was like red and decked out with art and stuff, and it made the cool noises like the chainsaw noise when it opened and you powered it on and stuff. Oh, it was cool. It was amazing. And I think it came with Judgment or 3, one of the two. Um, yeah, and that was. Let's see. I don't know how long they actually supported that thing. I feel like not long after Xbox One came out, but Xbox 60 lifetime. That's what I want, is the years. From what to what. So, not lifetime sales. Should be more specific. Supported until what year? Okay, so here's just a couple bits, I guess. The final system update was released in November of 2015, so 10 years was the last time that they supported it with updates. The games still continue to release and get updates until 2016. Microsoft announced the end of the Xbox 360's online service in 2016. So can't play anything online with 360 anymore. And backwards compatibility still exists to play those games on Xbox One and Xbox Series. I believe it's still like select games and not every game, which is a little stupid. But I did not answer the last time they released a game for it. That's first party game. Let's see what that comes up with. Last first party game was what? Well, that was quite a bit sooner than 2015 or 2016. So the last first party Xbox 360 game was Halo Spartan Assault, which launched on July 18th of 2013. I believe that was just a digital only title, so that's crazy. And then let's see, I talked about Kinect and what that was. Let's go over some of the launch titles, because I do have that list pulled up here, so I don't do a whole lot of work here. So just some of the notable things, because there's quite a bit. How many games was this? It was... Let's say. Should say. It is not. Okay. Well, I'm not going to count all those. It was okay. 18 launch titles. There it is. I looked right past it. Of those, Amped 3 was something that I liked. I didn't like a lot of snowboarding games and stuff, but the Amped series was pretty cool. It was kind of like Cool Borders, but it was wackier and had to what seemed like to me a lot more fun in it. Different challenges and different things and weird parody-like videos in between. So it was kind of cool. Call of Duty 2 released on launch day. Condemned Criminal Origins. There was a FIFA 06. Gun released on it. Cameo Elements of Power, which was a first-party title where you played as this, like, fairy pixie character, and she could transform into a handful of like elemental monster type things. So it was kind of cool. Not the greatest, but it was all right. Then you have a lot of your typical stuff, NBA and NHL, Madden, all 06, obviously. Need for Speed Most Wanted, Perfect Dark Zero, which a lot of people really liked. I never really got into the Perfect Darks. King Kong, from the 2005 or 2000, no, the 2005 movie. Project Gotham Racing, Quake 4. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, which was kind of cool, having a Tony Hawk game right out the bat. And Ridge Racer 6, just to name most of them. But yeah, I mean, it was a sturdy launch lineup, but I think because Halo 2 had launched like the year before, they didn't have a Halo to launch on it, so that kind of hurt a little bit. And, just having all your typical stuff. Could see it not being as sought out as it could have been. If you had a Halo or a Fable, something big hitter, but it's all good. So I think that's all I got on that page. Close that out. What else do I want to mention? I guess just that I'm old and that I lived through that generation. Xbox original, Xbox One. All the Xboxes, all the PlayStations happened in my lifetime. It's crazy, because now we're up to PlayStation 5, talking about PlayStation 6. some of this doesn't feel as far back as it is. So it's just weird whenever you look through your subscriptions on YouTube and you see somebody's talking about Xbox 360 turning 20 years old, and you're like, what the crap are you talking about? That wasn't 20 years ago. But yeah, it was. I think 20 years ago from the 360 was like NES era. So just think to that. Like that's why this doesn't feel real. But, all right, and then last thing, I guess, I'll go through my top 10, and what I'll do is I'll be really specific with this instead of incorporating everything, because it would have been a lot harder to decide 10 when you throw in the digital only titles and the Connect titles as well. There were certain things that might have dirtied up the water a little bit. So we're going to go with just the North American retail releases on 360, which is what I typically do with the Nintendo top 10s. So, and this is all going based off of memory. So certain things I couldn't throw in here, like the Saw game. I played through it once, I think. I can't even remember if I beat it. That's the worst part. So I didn't include it because I can't remember it well enough to say, like, oh yeah, no, that was definitely better than this, and not be thinking about the movies and not the game. So this is, to the best of my memory, what my top 10 360 list is. Starting with number 10. I'm going to seem like a weird choice, and I'm sure I'll get some hate for it. Viva Pinata. I spent an ungodly amount of time in that game trying to get achievements, trying to find all the pinatas, which again would have unlocked an achievement, so I guess it's basically saying the same thing. But at the time, there was this show going on what was the Fox Kids. It wasn't Fox Kids at the time. It was 4Kids TV, but it was the Fox station affiliates, Saturday morning cartoons. So there was a cartoon for Viva Pinata, and then there was the game, and I kind of watched little bits of the show at the time, which was kind of dumb. But then the game itself was a garden simulator. So you built your own garden, you took care of plants and stuff, and as you did that, different pinatas would show up, and you had to do different things to get other pinatas to show up or to get them to change into bigger pinatas, and just the whole thing. So it was kind of blending Harvest Moon and Pokemon, it kind of felt like at times. So I put a lot of time in, kind of like Animal Crossing numbers, so probably closer to the hundreds. So that's number 10. Number 9, Forza Motorsport 3. Not a big, just straight racing car fan either. However, the Forza Motorsport series, for some reason, sucks up my interests enough. As I did enjoy the first two. 3 actually is probably my favorite in the series. 4 added the Connect features, but it just sort of felt like more of the same. And then I never really got into the Horizons or any of the Forza Motorsports after that, because I didn't support the Xbox One very long, and then never bought a series. So, yeah. Number 8, Fable 2. I didn't play the Fable remake on there. I played the original one, but it's, Xbox, so it doesn't fit on this list. And then Fable 3, I don't think I ever actually went through all the way, but I enjoyed Fable 2. It was good. Probably, again, one of my more favorites of the entire series. Number 7. Number 7 is probably the only licensed game that's on this list, and that's Naruto Rise of a Ninja. Because that game, it was the first Naruto that was not a fighting game, or something very close to a fighting game. You actually went out onto missions and adventured and whatnot, and it was pretty big for a game of what that actually was. It didn't have to go as hard as it did, but I don't know. I probably still to this day favorite Naruto game. Even when you include all the fighting games, I still think I like Rise of a Ninja better. And then there was a sequel to that, Bond of something. I don't remember the title, but I did not get around to playing that one. Number 6 was Rock Band. Um, Always loved the instrument games. Anything that is a rhythm game, I end up enjoying a lot. And Rock Band was the first time you actually got to do the whole drums, guitar, bass, singing, like the whole band could be there. So it was the one Guitar Hero type game that me and my brother and friends of ours actually got to play together. So I really did enjoy that one more than every other one. And it was just before it started getting repetitive with 2 and 3 and Band Hero and all the other crap that came out after. Um, Number 5, Left 4 Dead. I put insane amount of hours into Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Even though they're just zombie games, they had really good stories. It was really fun to replay, and especially playing online. I played a lot online, and I don't usually play online games either. But it was just fun to even jump in where somebody else is at and just keep going. Um, so that was number 5. Number 4 would be Gears of War. Um, I couldn't really tell you exactly which Gears of War I liked the best. I was trying to remember 2 and 3. Uh, Struggled to remember what set them apart. So I was just like, okay, well, let's just put Gears of War, the original, and if I was wrong, one of them falls into that slot. If it's the original one I'm thinking, or if it's 2 or 3, one of them deserved 4. Uh, if that makes any sense, I know it really doesn't. But the gameplay, story stuff was really good in the Gears of War series as a whole. But I don't know. Again, old memories trying to go. So this is trying to remember while not having played 360 in years. Number 3 would be Left 4 Dead 2. Everything that I loved about Left 4 Dead 1, but better and new. So it actually gets a higher slot because 2, I believe I played a lot more than 1. Second one on this list, BioShock 2. I still love BioShock. Both the original and the second one. Have the collection on the Switch, and I've already beaten through the first one, and I was like halfway through 2. But I had the like big limited edition for BioShock 2. I don't have any of the stuff anymore because it was all kind of stupid, worthless crap. Gave you like a record with the soundtrack on it that I couldn't listen to because I didn't have a record player, and like some posters and CD soundtrack I think was in there, and some other stuff, and it was awesome. But the actual game itself was perfect. It's the best one of the series, and it would take a lot if they were to make a new game to make me think otherwise. Because you played as the big daddy through the whole thing, like one of the big, beefy monsters you fought in the first one. And that's who you were in number 2. So, yeah, no, tell me what's better than being this unstoppable killing machine, basically. I mean, you could still die, but like, you felt invincible until you died, and then you remembered, oh yeah, I have to actually try in this game. It was cool, and then having the good or bad decisions of, do you save the little sisters, or do you take their Adam or whatever, and yeah, I liked it. It was amazing, and I've played through it probably 4 or 5 times now. So yeah, it's great. Number 1, probably pretty obvious, Halo 3. Um, Again, probably one of the best ones of the series. The first 2 Halos are really good too, but they're Xbox games, so they don't get a chance to be in this list. But when you compare it to everything else that came out on the 360, which was things like Halo Wars, which was a tactical game, and I hated it. And Halo 3 ODST was fine, but it was kind of a spinoff. Halo Reach was awful. Halo 4 was okay, but it was not near the game that 3 was. So clearly Halo 3 has to be number one. It's the only thing that makes sense. So yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, he finally fell asleep. Cool. I don't have to rush off of here, but at the same time, I don't know what else to say on Xbox 360, other than it's the best Xbox that they've put out, hands down. It was the best Xbox because it all went downhill from there, and obviously you have to start somewhere. So Xbox original there. You can't even say Xbox One because the stupid sequel to Xbox 360 was Xbox One. Oh, it's all in one and it's together and it's stupid. It was stupid to title it that. I mean, it would have been dumb to say 720 also, but still, it's stupid to call it Xbox One and then Xbox Series. That doesn't make sense either. But yeah, like it'd be hard for a different reason for me to make a top 10 list for Xbox One, and that's just finding 10 Xbox One games that I actually liked. I think it existed, but I'd be scraping the bottom of that barrel. Like, I don't know. Original Xbox, there was some good stuff. Things like Blinks and original Halo, Crash Twin Sanity was really good on there. We're not talking about original Xbox. That's about to turn 25. Oh God. I think. Hold on, I'm looking at it now. I've got to correct myself on that. So let's see. Original Xbox. Oh, yep, I'm right. November 15th of next year, 2026, we'll be doing an Xbox One. So just be sure to come back for that. I want to try to catch more of these anniversaries and try to do special things for those too. But like this one snuck up on me because I couldn't remember that launch day. It was before I bought consoles on launch days, so we'll try not to let things just slip through the cracks again. But yeah, I think that's basically all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Tell me your Xbox 360 stories. If you played it, if you got it on launch day, if there was just special things tied to that system that you enjoyed. If you hated the Xbox 360 and what you hated about it. Let's talk about it. Because that's what we do here. We talk about things and you just say it in the comments, and we'll talk about it there too. Even if we don't fully agree, we'll just keep it civil. And yeah. Also, be sure to hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe so we can get closer to 1,000 subscribers. Real close. Not really, but I'd like to believe that. And hit the bell notification button so you can be alerted to all upcoming videos as I see time to make videos. I have at least 2 scheduled for the next week. Again, this was unplanned, so if there's other unplanned things that just sort of spring out, that bell notification button's really good for that. It'll let you know and say, hey, you go check it out. And with that, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.